Welcome to Glass Houses, a Billy Joel podcast. I'm Michael Grosvenor.
And I'm Jack Firneno. Join us as we dig deep into Billy Joel's songs and history and what his music has meant to us.
Hey everyone, Michael Grosvenor here. Jack and I thought it'd be a lot of fun to do a new series of episodes here on the podcast where we take turns playing DJ, so to speak. We thought it'd be fun to take turns sharing some of our favorite songs by some of our favorite artists and sharing some stories in between. We're calling it the Glass Houses Playlist. We hope you enjoy the ride and the songs, and let's dig in. On this first Glass Houses playlist, I thought it'd be fun to share some songs by artists that I've worked with over the years. I've been very fortunate to work on and off in the music business going back to 1998, ranging from independent bands to major label acts and all points in between. It's been a real treat to get to work with some incredible musicians and songwriters. The first song up on the playlist is by a band called Main Street East. Now, I met these guys back in Atlanta, Georgia in the early 2000s when I was living down that way. They're a 4-piece pop rock band with great songs and great ear for melody. Their debut full-length album, Waiting for Yesterday, came out in 2004. Now with these guys, I helped them out with merchandise and whatever they needed at shows. And myself and the drummer Craig Eck also designed and laid out the album cover artwork as well. This album recently became available on all digital outlets, so if you dig what you hear, you can look up Main Street East and find this album on iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon, Spotify, you name it. The first time I saw these guys at a club outside of Atlanta, this was one of the songs I heard that night, and it's called Caroline. It just has a great melody, and it caught my ear immediately. And I was super excited to get to know these guys and ultimately work with them for a few years while they were together and while I was living down there. This album was produced by a guy named Clay Cook. Now, you may know Clay Cook as a member of the Zac Brown Band, who he's been playing with for a little more than 10 years now. Aside from that, Clay has been a solo artist and released quite a few great albums on his own. Clay was also an original member of the band Sugarland and had a duo back in the late 90s with a guy named John Mayer. And he and John co-wrote a few songs that ultimately ended up on John's debut album, Room for Squares. It was a treat working with these guys, and I've always loved this song. This is Caroline by Main Street East.
Be in love is additional, feels so right. Do you wonder what it feels like? Feel that high. You've been up and down for way too long, and now you're tempted. The light leave us behind. But first, I want you to know, Caroline, keep me in mind. Though I know I haven't been there, maybe in time, all of the lines will start to blur and fade into one. Has it ever seemed to cross your mind? And is the answer harder to find? Now you've given up, now you know. But first, I want you to know, Caroline, keep me in mind. Though I know I haven't been there, maybe in time, all of the lines will start to blur and fade into one. sure I have. You want to, 'cause I know you've always been so kind. Now around you, peace tonight, Caroline. We'll try tonight, Caroline. Take it as it comes.
That was Main Street East with Caroline from Waiting for Yesterday. This next band is a band you may be familiar with. I know it's a drummer that you're familiar with. The drummer is Liberty DeVito, and the band is called The Funk Club. I met Liberty in 2000 when I was living in Orlando, Florida. I talked about that a bit in episode 1. As I got to know Liberty, I started working with him a bit, working on his website, and also working with this band, The Funk Club. The Funk Club consisted of Liberty DeVito on drums, Tommy Kelton on guitar, Larry Jacoby on bass, Doug Bear on keyboard and organ, Charlie DeChant from the Hall & Oates Band on saxophone and flute, and Steve Walters on trumpet. These guys were so much fun to work with. Great energy and an instrumental band that kept you moving. High energy, good groove, so good. And it was such a treat to get to know these guys and hear this music day in and day out for the few years I lived down there. This song was the first song that caught my ear when I started working with them. This is from their 2000 album, A Taste of Money. The song is called 38 Graymont. That was Liberty DeVito and the Funk Club with 38 Graymont. This next song is a song that's a little bit more personal in nature. It's actually a song that I wrote. Between 2005 and 2010, I was pretty active in Southeast Michigan playing drums in a rock band called September On. We were heavily influenced by bands like the Verve Pipe, Better Than Ezra, Toe the Wet Sprocket, and Tonic. In that band, I was the drummer. I sang background vocals, and on our album, Elisions, which came out in 2009, I played a little bit of the guitars as well, and wrote 2 songs, including the one you're about to hear. I always wanted to be a piano player, which was pretty natural growing up a Billy Joel fan, but just didn't have it in me, and I ultimately gravitated towards drums. But I did use guitar as a writing tool, and used it to write this next song. I wanted a Billy Joel or a Let It Be kind of vibe, so I wrote this song with that in mind, and I took it to the band, and a piano player friend of ours named Drew DeFore played them the demo and explained what I was going for, and they got it immediately. The result is what ended up on our debut album here, and I'm super proud with how this came out, and I'm very proud with the album in general and everything we did while we were a band together during those years. Again, the band is called September On. The album is called Elisions, Elisions, and you can find us anywhere online, iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, you name it. This song is called On the Outside Again.
With options on the table and a feeling less than stable, I'm learning how to keep balance again. Though burdens haven't lifted, priorities have shifted. Suitcases and hotel rooms are gone, and here I am. My frame of mind exchanging trip rewards for evenings here with you. As cold surrounds, I'm reeling. There's a sense of warm I'm feeling from all that we've done and yet to do. And I say, don't worry about it, just know that I'm the same. So if you wanna see the part of me that no one understands, maybe you'll need to be the last one standing. You know where to find me. I'm on the outside again. Run before you look down. Tomorrow you will sleep sound. As you head into the morning, I'll be near. You never know the changes and how life rearranges, but a phone call with the promise makes it clear. And I say, don't worry about it, just know that I'm the same. So if you wanna see the part of me that no one understands, maybe you'll need to be the last one standing. You know where to find me. I'm on the outside again. options on the table and a feeling less than stable. I'm learning how to keep balance again, and here I am.
That was my band, September On, with On the Outside Again. This next band comes to us from Kalamazoo, Michigan, and these guys have a very, very special place in my heart because this is the very first band I ever worked with, and this is what lit the spark for me to want to work in the music industry. The band is called Knee Deep Shag, and one of the best live bands I've ever seen. These guys just blew the roof off of every club they played in the Midwest. I came involved with these guys when they were just about to release their last studio album, which came out in 1999. A friend of mine was a roommate of the keyboard player Rob Cookman, and I would hang out at the house quite a bit. And one day I started helping out with the mailing list. Now, back in the day before email lists and now social media, you would literally stamp and address postcards to your mailing list. So I was doing a mailing list party, so to speak, as we were getting this Knee Deep Shag newsletter to go out. And they invited me out to a show. And I remember going out to see them in Western Michigan. And they just, I couldn't believe what I was seeing and what I was hearing. And it just grew from there. And I worked with these guys for quite a few years until I moved south to Florida. And they kind of put the Knee Deep Shag thing to rest for a little while. But I love this band, and their album Good Disguise, which came out in 1999, is a fantastic record, and this is one of my favorite songs off that album. This is called Faded and Live by Knee Deep Shag.
Fading out and fading in with my
That was Faded in Live by Knee Deep SHAG. This next band is a band that I met when I relocated to Orlando, Florida in the year 2000, a great alternative pop rock band named CIDER. These guys actually have just reissued their catalog digitally for the first time, so this is a perfect time to share one of these songs. This was their second album named Sugarcoat. This song here is called This Life.
And I wanna take it on. The world is in my hands, and you're my biggest fan. And you wanna stay with me, but you can't afford the wait. And I don't understand about my head. And when there's lust above my head, it's such a it's a long and winding road that's led us to this place where I've just seen her face. And I know what that look means. I did it once again. Allow me to explain about my head. And when there's lost, give up today. And I can't pay. Find a way. But if you leave it up to me, your world is underneath it. I wonder when, I wonder how, I wonder if you can. Above my head, keep up this way, and you won't stay. If you want this life, you better think it over. It's about damn time for you to run for cover, but you don't believe me when I won't give up and walk away. Believe me when I want to. Today I figured out. I wonder when it ends. I wonder if we can. You don't wanna lose me. I see you right through me now. I wonder if you want this life. You better think it over. It's about damn time for you to run for cover, but you don't believe me when I won't give up and walk away. Believe me when I want to. Today I think I want this life. You better think it over. You better run for cover.
Back up to Michigan now. I spent many years working with a band named the VERVE Pipe, and one of the members over the years was an incredible singer-songwriter named Andy Reid. Andy is also a recording engineer and owns a fantastic studio in Bay City, Michigan named Reid Recording Company. Andy, along with playing with various other bands, has also put out several great records as a solo artist, and one was under the name An American Underdog. This is one of my favorite songs off the album, Always on the Run. This is Andy Reid's An American Underdog with Put Out the Fire.
Stories from a different day. promises are left behind. Call me a fool 'cause I fell for it one more time. Seems like none of us can put out the fire. Seems like none of us can put out the fire. We'll help you get by, but these words are not meant for me. Just give it a try, you'll continue to disagree. We talk about how everything will be. This boy and girl are gonna be just fine, you'll see. Seems like none of us can put out the fire. Seems like none of us can put out the fire. Put out the fire. Put out the fire. Put out the
That was Andy Reid's An American Underdog with Put Out the Fire. This next artist is an artist that I am actually still currently working with. His name is Tom Paxton. If you're familiar at all with folk music, then you are certainly familiar with Tom Paxton. Tom's first album goes all the way back to the early 1960s when he was playing clubs in Greenwich Village, to his career with Elektra Records, Vanguard Records, and several other labels in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. I've been working with Tom Paxton for nearly a decade now, and it is such a treat to hear his stories and his songs, who has been covered by Bob Dylan, Pete Seeger, and everyone in between. This song is a song by Tom Paxton and the DONJUANS. The DONJUANS are comprised of singer-songwriters Don Henry and John Vesner. Don Henry and John Vesner have written so many great songs over the years, including the Kathy Mattea hit Where Have You Been, which won a slew of awards and accolades over the years, and was most recently featured in the Ken Burns country music documentary. The DONJUANS and Tom Paxton have been touring a lot lately, and both of them have been having so much fun. Each time I get to go out to a show and spend some time with them, it is such a treat, and it's clear how much they are enjoying themselves. This is a song that they've been performing a lot live lately. It has been released digitally on 2 different live albums. One is Live in Portland, which I recorded and released a few years ago, as well as a new Tom Paxton and the DONJUANS live album, which came out earlier this year digitally. This song is called After the Storm.
The western sky was an angry black that August afternoon. We knew somehow there'd be hell to pay, and hell was coming soon. The wind came through like a runaway train, and trees crashed down as it passed. We held each other the long night through till the wind died down. the storm. Oh, how the air comes clean, clear as the sky is the reason why all the world is green. All the world is green. I feel a thundercloud building again, deep within my chest. I lie awake in the threatening night and try in vain to rest. A fiercer storm is coming, and it leaves no room for doubt that we'll have to stand together now if we're going to ride it out. But all the beauty of after the storm, oh, how the air comes clean, clear as the sky is the reason why all the world is green. All the world is green.
What a great song. That was Tom Paxton and the DONJUANS with After the Storm. This next artist I worked with between 2010 and 2013. His name is Colin Hay. In the 1980s, Colin was most known as the lead singer of the band Men at Work. They had such hit songs as Overkill, Who Can It Be Now, It's a Mistake, Down Under, and so much more. Since then, Colin has embarked on an incredible solo career and has released some fantastic music. And his live shows, some of the funniest, most engaging shows you'll ever see. I thought I'd go with a song from right around the time I started working with him. This is from Colin Hay's 2011 album, Gathering Mercury. This is Send Somebody.
Hello to who I'm talking to. No more automation. I'm hoping you can walk me through and solve my situation. It's after midnight and I've been on hold so long. You broke through the silence, now I'm not alone. You're asking me to help you see. The words begin to flow. This was not my plan or my intention. How was I to know? For such a short time, I feel I've known you for so long. But I don't think I can make it all mine. So send somebody, 'cause I'm stranded and there's no place left where I can run. Send somebody, 'cause I'm hanging by a thread, now the whole damn thing's undone. You have to know I can't let go. Now I've made this connection. It's either love that runs the show or random speculation. In my desperation, I'm a danger to myself. I need you direction. Yeah, I need someone 'cause I'm hanging by a thread. Now the old damn thing's undone. From my window, as the leaves begin to fall, before the cold wind comes, please hear my call. So send somebody, 'cause I'm stranded and there's no place left where I can run. Send somebody, 'cause I'm hanging by a thread. Now the whole damn thing's undone. Send somebody, 'cause I'm stranded and there's no place left where I can run. Send somebody, 'cause I'm hanging by a thread now before I come undone. Somebody, send somebody, send someone. Send somebody, what, send someone. Somebody, what, send someone. Somebody, send someone. Send somebody, send someone.
That was Colin Hay with Send Somebody. This next song is by a band that I worked with out of Gainesville, Florida named Big Sky. They were together for roughly 12 years and put out 4 studio albums, 2 compilations, and 1 live album during that time frame. Their live shows were great. They were one of the first live bands I remember seeing when I moved down to Florida in the year 2000, but it wasn't for a few years later that I actually got to know them and began working with them. Helped them with their street team, helped them with management, merchandising, and a whole slew of other things. It was a lot of fun working with these guys and being on the road with them when I was. This song here is from their last studio album, released in 2003, called This Monstrosity. This is Big Sky with Waiting.
Up and down the avenue, everyone's feeling alright, like they just can't lose. But I am still here waiting. The club lights low and the music's loud. The smiles on the faces remind me how I am still here waiting. And there's a price to pay, a time to swallow pride. In these games we're playing, you can't even tell me why I'm still waiting here for you. You can't tell me why I'm still waiting here for you. Just another Friday night, keep the party going till the morning light. But I am still here waiting. And all my friends say keep your cool, don't let anybody play you for the fool. But I am still here waiting. And there's a price to pay, a time to swallow pride. In these games we're playing, you can't even tell me why I'm still waiting here for you. You can't tell me why I'm still waiting here for you. take anything, anything at and you can't tell me why I'm still waiting here for you. I can't tell you why I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting here for you. Up and down the avenue, everyone's feeling alright, like they just can't lose. But I am still here waiting.
That was Waiting by Big Sky. This next song is by an artist from Saginaw, Michigan named Donny Brown. I've known Donny now for 20 years. From 1992 to 2013, Donny was the drummer for the band The Verve Pipe. And after leaving the group, Donny has put out 2 EPs. One, the Hess Street EP, which came out in 2014, and the self-titled EP, Donny Brown, which came out in December 2015. This is one of my favorite songs off that second EP. This is called Losing a Part of Your Soul.
You got it wrong, but you think you're right. So you shout it out until it seems to be. It's not like you to ever lose a fight. The noisiest wheel's the one that's getting the grease. So go on and take your time, and we'll still be hanging on the line while you are losing a part of your soul. You look like you've been struck by lightning. It shut you down and it set me free. And now you find it so surprising that someone else is fool enough to believe. So stay cool and no one else will see how cruel and callous you might be while you are losing a part of your soul. I listen to your words, but still don't understand how you could let something like this slip through your hands. I took it all apart to try to figure out, and now I'm left with only doubt. I'm left with only doubt. I'm out of options, so I'll just say goodnight and leave this lying where it's meant to be. I may admit I might have lost this fight, but now that I'm here, it doesn't matter to me. So go on and take your time, and we'll still be hanging on the line while you are losing a part, losing a part, losing a part of your soul.
That was Losing a Part of Your Soul by Donny Brown. This next artist is originally from Michigan, but currently South Florida. His name is Jesse Young. I met Jesse by way of my cousin Andrew. They were good college friends, and I was living in Atlanta at the time, and Jesse was in town recording an EP with a gentleman named Dan Hannon. And Andy knew of my love for music and me working in music and suggested that he and I get together. So he connected the two of us, and so I came out to the studio to hang while he was working on this EP. While there, they were working on a song that Jesse had written called The Distance, and they were working on a few different arrangement ideas for the song and asked my input, and I provided a few different ideas that ultimately made it into the song and the recording. So after just one meeting between the two of us, I have a small writing credit on this song, and I'm thrilled because this is a song that I liked the first time I heard it. So it was really an honor to have them be open to my ideas and incorporate that into what they were working on. So this song is by Jesse Young from the Last Chance EP, and this is called The Distance.
I told you that I'd never let you go, in search of a song to sing to you. All that I can say, you made my life feel like it was worth living, but you're gone. You kept me honest and you made me try, but I had forever in the back of my mind. I could deal with the distance, I could deal with the lies, but how could you make me deal with goodbye? I thought that you got me, and you did. Yes, you did. Now I'm alone, gone with a phone call that I wish I'd never answered. How can 2 years seem like they never were? And now you're gone. You kept me honest and you made me try, but I had forever in the back of my mind. I could deal with the distance, I could deal with the lies. How could you make me deal with goodbye? I feel so lonely inside. I wish I could hold you tonight. Would you tell me if I'm still on your mind? You kept me honest and you made me try, but I had forever in the back of my mind. I could deal with the distance, I could deal with the lies, but I can't deal without you, 'cause you kept me honest and you made me try, but I had forever in the back of my mind. I could deal with the distance, I could deal with the lies, but I can't deal without you.
That was Jesse Young with The Distance. This next band I met when I lived down in the Orlando area. They are called Mile, and they were based out of the Tallahassee area. Their debut album, Driving Under Stars, came out in 2000 under Aware and C2 Records. These guys were heavily influenced by a lot of British bands, and the album certainly reflects that. A lot of layers and textures and lush production. This song is one of my favorites off the album. This is called The Way Home.
In a dream world, you would make so much sense. But this is no movie. There is no road. You can see things, realize their worth, but there's no connection what makes up your soul. By the time you learn to make plans to take home, I'll be gone. You're no angel, you don't care for wings. What will you do? There's no home to come. Well, maybe the spirit will capture your heart and lead you to wisdom and render you whole. By the time you learn to make plans to take home, I'll be gone. Landslide, you're almost there, so don't give up before you're done. If it's wrong, then don't go on, 'cause I'll be gone. In a dream world, you would make so much sense, but this is no movie, and there is no road. By the time you learn to make plans to take home, I'll be gone. Landslide, you're almost there, so don't give up before you're done. If it's wrong, then don't go on, 'cause I'll be gone. The way home, the way home, the way home, the way home, way home, the way home, the way home. Landslide.
That was Mile with The Way Home. This next singer-songwriter comes to us from Atlanta, Georgia. His name is Pete Schmidt, and I met Pete when I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, or shortly thereafter, in 2002 and 2003. I was fortunate to do the layout and design for his first EP, On Your Way to Fly, and on this 2004 album, No Safe Bet, I helped with general promotions and things like that. This album was actually produced by Dan Hannon as well. He's the same person who did the Jesse Young track we listened to earlier. This is one of my favorites off the album. This is Pete Schmidt with Someday.
Trip I'll be taking. You couldn't get me away from this, so I guess I'll think of something else. Now I don't feel like I should be leaving heartbroken,
but I can't see you for a while, so I smile and start thinking about something else. Nothing takes me over like you do. Nothing makes me serious until I'm with you. Someday, some way, we could make this work out if we put some time in. Somehow when the lights go down, we could make this work out if we put some time in. Put some time in. Driving through the city, I'll be thinking about where you'll be. Too far away to care, so we'll stop and stare at something else. Would it change things if we stopped this? Would it make sense if we didn't exist? But I can't let go of what you make me feel inside. Nothing takes me over like you do. Nothing makes me serious until I'm with you. Someday, some way, we could make this work out if we put some time in. Somehow when the lights go down, we could make this work out if we put some time in. With a little time, then we could make it better. It's all we need to make this right. With a little time, we'll put it back together. Maybe we should try. Someday, some way, we could make this work out if we put some time in. Somehow when the lights go down, we could make this work out if we put some time in.
That was Jesse Young with Someday. This next band comes to us from Michigan, and you may remember them from their hit The Freshman in 1997. The band is the Verve Pipe, and in 1994, my freshman year of high school, keyboard player Doug Corella happened to be my marching band percussion instructor. Through him, I was introduced to the music of the band and instantly became a fan. After that marching band season, Doug had left because the Verve Pipe had been consistently gaining momentum and had soon secured a record contract with RCA Records. And the next time I saw Doug happened to be on MTV. It was pretty wild watching that happen. Fast forward a few years later, after seeing the band live a couple times, I was seeing them in Mount Clemens, Michigan one night, and I happened to see Doug walking around the lobby. I decided to go reintroduce myself to him. After going up to him and shaking hands, he remembered who I was, where I was from, and we just reconnected and hit it off. And it was through Doug he introduced me to Donnie Brown, the drummer, who we heard earlier in this episode, as well as Brian Vander Ark and the rest of the band. This started a quick friendship with Donnie and Doug and the rest of the guys in the band, and it slowly morphed into me working for them. I was with the Verve Pipe from around 2003 to 2015. During my time with them, I toured regionally doing merchandise, helping as a drum tech, whatever else was needed. I also used to manage social media and whatever various promotions that were needed for the band. And this was a real treat because I was a big fan of the band before ever working with them. And it was really easy to get behind them and just, it was such a blast. And I do miss working with these guys, but fortunately I do stay in touch with them all. This song came out in 2001 from their fourth album, Underneath. This is the Verve Pipe. Feel free to reach out to us anytime. You can connect with us all on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you search Glass Houses Podcast, you will find us. Or Glass Houses Billy Joel Podcast. That'll help you find us as well. You can also email us at glasshousespodcast@gmail.com or find us on our website at glasshousespod.com. We'd also appreciate if you dig what you hear to leave a positive review or rating wherever you get your podcasts. It really helps us grow this community and get in front of more people, and your help would mean so much to us. And this brings us to the last song of this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed the ride and got a chance to hear some new songs that you may have never heard before. It's been a lot of fun sharing some of these stories and listening back to this material myself. This last song was by a good friend of mine named ASHTON Allen. ASHTON was the bass player of the band Big Sky we heard earlier in this week's episode. In 2005, Big Sky broke up, and I had also recently lost my job at Sony Music after a few rounds of layoffs. We were both in career and life transitions, so it was a good fit. ASHTON had shortly after signed a record contract with Livewire Recordings out of Atlanta, Georgia. They were recording his debut album, Dewdrops, and wanted to put him on the road. Since ASHTON knew that I had lost my job and had nothing else going on just yet, he reached out to me and asked if I was interested in joining him on the road as his tour manager. That kicked off 15 months and close to 300 shows as we crisscrossed the country several times over, playing coffee shops, clubs, and you name it. It was so much fun, a lot of laughs, a lot of learning, and very few wrong turns along the way, fortunately. This is one of my favorite songs off of Dewdrops, and I thought it would be a great way to end the episode. I hope you've had as much fun as I have with this one. It's been a lot of fun to rediscover some of these songs and go down memory lane with some of these stories. And I tell you, I've been really, really lucky to work with some incredible talent and some really good people over the years. And I couldn't even fit them all in this episode. That's how lucky I've been. Jack and I are going to be doing more of these Glass Houses playlist episodes sprinkled throughout going forward. So I hope you like it, and I hope it gives you the opportunity to discover some new music as well. Thanks again for joining me. We will see you next time. And closing it out is ASHTON Allen with If You Leave.
Sitting all alone tonight, I'm in a quiet mood, drawing all these pictures in my mind that won't come true. An answer to this mystery, or even just a clue. Tell me what to do. What am I to do? If you leave, and you leave it in my hands, if you go away to find yourself a better day, I know it's hard to say goodbye, it's not the way we planned. And if you leave, my heart is in your hands. I swear it was a dream. There was nothing that could come between us, so it seemed. But you can go no further now, you're up against the wall. See the hole we're standing in, it started off so small. If you leave, go away to find yourself a better day. I know it's hard to say goodbye, it's not the way we planned. And if you leave, my heart is in your hands. And one of these days I'll wake up to the sounds of a parade, and there'll be joy and laughter every day. But how am I supposed to take up all the years that must go on? Yeah, how can I be happy with the rest of my life when the rest of our life is gone? But if you leave,